For more than 4 decades, the Libyan people have been ruled by a tyrant, Muammar Gaddafi. He has denied his people freedom, exploited their wealth.
Captain Traore in Burkina Faso, their gold reserves, all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime.
But when our interests and values are at stake, we have a responsibility to act.
14 years ago, President Obama made this announcement.
Today, the government of Libya announced the death of Muammar Gaddafi. This marks the end of a long and painful chapter for the people of Libya, who now have the opportunity to determine their own destiny in a new and democratic Libya.
Libya militia, with the help of NATO, had just toppled their long-term leader, Muammar Gaddafi.
I made it clear that Gaddafi had lost the confidence of his people and the legitimacy to lead. And I said that he needed to step down from power.
And with him, the country's government.
The new government is consolidating the control over the country.
Obama's mission in Libya was a success.
This is a momentous day in the history of Libya. The dark shadow of tyranny has been lifted, and with this enormous promise, the Libyan people now have a great responsibility.
And the entire Europe was happy.
It is great to be here in free Benghazi and in free Libya,
including Obama's Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
This is how the United States will likely use Europe once again in the event of a pursuit to kill Burkina Faso's President, Ibrahim Traore. Hey, call me Louis. This is my spot. LuiSpot.
Burkina Faso's Bongo and Wagner gold mines now belong to the government.
In December of 2024, Burkina Faso authorities received and revealed the country's first gold bust. This came after taking possession of their gold mines that were previously overrun by foreign nationals. And then they built factory for gold production.
What you have seen this morning is a revolution. The machines were entirely designed here. And I can say, without being mistaken, that Burkina Faso is the second country in Africa to develop this technology. It's a technology that isn't being imported, it's being developed. So it's not machines paid elsewhere to be assembled here. It's designed here, and everything is done here.
Today, the United States just declared war on Captain Ibrahim Traore, which comes merely a decade after the United States declared war on Libya's Muammar Gaddafi. You see, the United States accuses Captain Traore for being an enemy of his people, saying he is using the wealth of his country for his personal gain, just as they previously did before attacking Libya.
Muammar Gaddafi, he has denied his people freedom, exploited their wealth.
This is the same narrative the United States has used since 9/11 to discredit leaders before they attack a country and overthrow its regime. This is a declaration of war against the people of Burkina Faso.
I can imagine a situation, though, in which the ruling elite of a country is receiving gratuities on the side that inure to the benefit of the strongman leader and not to the populace of the country. Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traore and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. When you get down to it, it's all about the revenue that can be drawn out of that, and there are nefarious actors in the CCP or in sometimes Russia are complicit in those activities.
This is United States General Michael Langley. He is black, of course. Remember how they say they will hire one of us to kill one of us just to say it was one of us? He is the head of the United States Africa Command, abbreviated as Africom. Is a branch of United States military in Africa, responsible for training and overthrowing governments in Africa, with an aim of having access to Africa's mining concession, be it gold or rare earth minerals, and establish American influence in Africa over competing global powers like China and Russia.
General Langley, can you talk about why we care about what's happening in Africa right now? I mean, what you tell the American taxpayer? Why are we there? Why are we spending the money we're spending there?
Thanks for the question, Senator. For access and influence, I'd say that a number of countries are at the tipping point of actually being captured by the Russian Federation, as they are spreading some of their false narratives across Libya. And from a strategic answer piece, access influence across the whole Maghreb, that is NATO's southern flank. We need to be able to maintain access and influence across the Maghreb from Morocco all the way to Libya. The PRC and Russia are also remaining exploitative where possible and coercive when necessary. They want that ground. They want power projection capabilities. So for the most part, the rest of the continent is also for mining concessions, whether it be gold or rare earth minerals. Both of them have a long-range plan. But I think at the accelerated pace, the Russian Federation is really trying to take over Central Africa as well as the Sahel.
General Langley, I have constituents that have been scattered across Africa on train and equip missions. So just ballpark, in the last decade, how many Africans has the United States military trained and equipped?
It is more than 10,000.
More than 50,000?
I'd say we're reaching around 50,000
okay.
at least.
And what percentage of the people we've trained end up participating in insurrections or coups against their own government?
Very small number, Congressman, very small number.
So what percentage do you think?
I'd say probably less than 1%.
And what data sets do you track to arrive at the conclusion that less than 1% of the roughly 50,000 that we've trained have participated in coups? I wonder how many people it takes to plan a coup. I mean, initially you didn't know how many we trained and equipped. Then you said it was 1%. You had no basis for that 1% number because there's no data set you track. Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record. Another U.S. trained soldier stages a coup in West Africa by the Intercept.
Without objection, so ordered.
And I further seek unanimous consent to enter into the record. U.S. forces trained the Guinean colonel behind the recent coup in West African country, and this is regard to Guinea.
Without objection, so ordered.
Having known that, let's then understand the role of Europe in all of this. Russian Senator Alexei Pushkov once said, Europe lacks independent influence in the world and has no distinct power apart from the United States, despite its rich cultural heritage, adding that Europe's current elite is subordinated to America, governed by America, and worships America as its natural center. Jeffrey Sachs conveys the same message.
The wars in Africa, these are wars that the United States led and caused. And this has been true for more than 40 years. Europe has not had any foreign policy during this period that I can figure out. No voice, no unity, no clarity, only American loyalty. This idea that Putin's reconstructing the Russian Empire, this is childish propaganda.
By this, you can see if America starts another war in Africa, Europe is likely to be dragged into yet another coalition war as they lack the backbone to say no to the United States. Take a look at the EU president.
Or think about the Sahel region. One of the poorest, yes, yet fastest growing demographically. The succession of military coups will make the region more unstable for years ahead. Russia is both influencing and benefiting from the crisis, and the region has become fertile ground to the rise of terrorism. This is of direct concern for Europe, for our security and our prosperity. So we need to show the same unity of purpose towards Africa as we have shown towards Ukraine. This is a must.
Here, she says it's a must that the European Union uses the Ukraine approach on the Sahel region. In other words, they'll join forces and seek to liberate the Sahel region from revolutionaries like Ibrahim Traore, and they'll coordinate that with the African Union. That's why they are putting Africom's General Michael Langley under pressure to start the process of bringing a Gaddafi moment to Burkina Faso. Now, that sums it up for this video. What do you guys think? Share thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Let's have a proper discussion about this without having me impose my opinions and ideas on this matter. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, so that the YouTube algorithm can know that this video was so much interesting and share it far wide to more avid viewers just like you. Subscribe and click the notification bell if this is your first time watching these videos, and so that you can be notified as soon as we make a new upload on videos just like this. My name is Louis. Until next time, peace out.